3 years ago, I made a big move to a new city on the East Coast, a few states away from my previous home. It was a decision driven by work opportunities and financial considerations. Unfortunately, I couldn't visit the new place before the move due to time and budget constraints. However, since I was only renting the house, I figured there wasn't too much risk involved. In mid-September, the moving day arrived, and the movers loaded up all my belongings onto the truck and then dropped them off at the new house. Thankfully, the landlord was considerate enough to allow the movers to unload my stuff, even though I wouldn't be arriving until the following week. Finally, on a Monday evening, I set foot in the new city and laid eyes on the house in person for the first time. To my dismay, the house was in disarray, with boxes scattered all over and furniture lying haphazardly. Despite the mess, the house itself seemed decent enough. It had an intriguing layout, being a single story with the kitchen and living room on one side, while a long hallway led to all the bedrooms and bathrooms on the other side. Since it was already late when I arrived, I went straight to the master bedroom and started assembling the bed. After that, I switched off all the lights and tried to get some much-needed rest. Not having set up a clock yet, I couldn't tell the exact time, but in the middle of the night, I was startled awake by an unusual sound. Initially, I brushed it off, assuming it might be some noise the house was making. However, my curiosity got the better of me, and I wanted to investigate further in case it was something I needed to inform the landlord about. I got up and walked over to the bedroom door, and as I got closer, I realized the sound was emanating from somewhere down the hallway. With a sense of apprehension, I opened the door, and surprisingly, the sound ceased almost instantly. The hallway was engulfed in darkness, so I quickly switched on the light, but to my surprise, there was nothing out of the ordinary there. I slowly walked down the hallway and peered into the living room, only to find it look just as it did earlier. Despite this, I turned on all the lights and looked around, inspecting the floor for any signs of something unusual. The floor was littered with footprints scattered between the boxes, and I immediately recalled that these were likely left by the movers. Finding no other signs of anything suspicious, I returned to the bedroom, but the incident left me restless, making it difficult for me to fall asleep again. My mind kept going back to the strange fact that the sound had stopped as soon as I opened the door. I tried to think of any logical explanation for it, but nothing seemed to fit. Eventually, I drifted back to sleep, but it felt like only a short while when I was jolted awake by a sudden thump sound, followed by the echoing of footsteps running down the hallway. My eyes shot open, and in the dim light, I noticed that the bedroom door was wide open. To my horror, I saw clear footprints leading right up to my bed. Fear gripped me, and I immediately jumped out of bed, hurrying to see who was there. However, by the time I reached the hallway, the intruder was long gone, leaving behind only scuffed footprints as evidence of their presence. Feeling extremely alarmed, I grabbed my phone and called the police, locking myself in the bathroom until they arrived. Strangely, when the police came, they found no signs of a break-in apart from the footprints. It puzzled me, and I tried to convince myself that the intruders must have gained access to the house during the week before I arrived. Despite unpacking and carefully checking each box, nothing appeared to be missing. Nevertheless, I couldn't shake off the eerie feeling that something wasn't right about the situation. The biggest mystery haunting me was the reason why the intruders had approached my bed, and what had caused that mysterious thump sound just before they fled. My doubts were further fueled by the landlord's eagerness to let me break the contract and move out, as long as I didn't disclose the break-in publicly. At first, I assumed it was to prevent potential tenants from being scared away, affecting the landlord's rental income. However, as time went on, I couldn't help but wonder if there was more to the story than meets the eye. The inexplicable events of that night in the new house continue to haunt me to this day. Thank you for joining us for this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Goodbye.